How's it going, guys? Sean with Southern Appalachia Lawn Care up here in Glenville, North Carolina. And today we're doing a review on the Husqvarna 562XP. This is my personal saw. It is performance grade, 24-inch bar, full tooth chain, and everything else about it's left stock. But it's been a great saw so far, and today we're going to show you on what's left of a sassafras tree. The top blew out of it during a storm, so we're going to take the rest of it downhill and pull the truck around and clean it up.
Timber!
Now's the fun part. Now's the fun part. You get to clean it up. It'll be useful firewood for somebody. Be back in a minute. What's up, guys? So after using these for the day, I figured I'd give you a little info on them. We'll start with the Husqvarna T540XP top-handled saw. It is, let me look up the specs for you real quick. It's a great little saw. It is 37 cc, puts out 2.4 horsepower. This is a, I believe, 13-inch, so it's an odd size bar, but it is Tech-Lite, which means it is more of an aluminum, I believe, build. So it is stronger than your regular bar, but they last a lot longer and they're a whole lot lighter, because this saw is mainly used for tree climbers, as they say. You know, and it weighs in at 8.6 pounds, so it's very, very light, very powerful, but very light. The one good thing about this saw is it comes with 3 different size adjustments for your grip. I put the extra large one on because my hands, I guess, are a little bit bigger and it just feels more comfortable. But it comes with a large and a medium, so that way you can, depending on the size of your hand, you can figure out which grip you want on there. It also comes with this little ring back here, so if you're up in the tree, you can hook it into your belt or whatever, and it'll stay put, stay with you. I don't do that much tree work, as in climbing in trees, but this saw is great for pruning anything because you keep your hand on the limb that you're cutting and cut with this and then just push it away. So, you know, even though it's really meant for tree climbers, it's great for landscapers. And when you're dealing with overgrown bushes or something you're just trying to trim up, just its size, weight, makes it a whole lot easier to use than, say, this guy where you have to use 2 hands at once, or both hands to actually work the chainsaw. I will show a video of this being used in a little while. I've had it for a little over a year. No issues. The only thing I would complain about, I guess, is it cools off very quickly. you have to choke it. You know, say if it sits for 5 minutes, you do need to choke it. But again, that's not the end of the world, because you just push it down. You don't even have to prime it unless it's that cold. Pull it twice and you're ready to go. It does have the feature where it puts it back to run mode, so that way you don't forget to put it back in run and pull the string a whole bunch of times and forget. Normal kickback. And other than that, that's good for that saw. We'll move over here to the big saw. This is my primary. I guess I use this saw a little bit more, cutting more bigger trees. The Husqvarna 562XP. It puts out 60 cc, which equals to about 4.7 horsepower. That is a 24-inch bar on there, but they say you can go up to a 28-inch bar. I have never done that. I feel like that would almost be a little bit too big for that saw in a very hard wood. For example, locust or oak. And it weighs in at 13 pounds without the bar. Now with the bar, it weighs considerably more. I really love this saw. And as with the 540, they both have the electronic carburetors on them, which a lot of people believe to be a negative thing. A lot of people like the old school way of adjusting it yourself. But I am here in western North Carolina in the mountains, so every job I go to can range from 500 to 1,000 foot difference in elevation in just a short distance. So they automatically adjust to the air temperature, elevation, how thick and thin the air is. So you never have to worry about, when you go up and down the mountain, adjusting your carburetor. It's all done electronically. And also with these, if you ever wanted to buy one, apparently they keep track of the hours. So it's almost like buying a mower or anything. It'll keep track of the hours that the machine has. So if somebody can just plug it in, then you'll be able to tell how many hours are on the machine. I never have any issues with this one. It doesn't cool off near as quick as this one does, so after 10-15 minutes you can still pull it and it'll crank right up. Choke's a little different. Over here you just pull out, lift up. You got a primer bulb, which a lot of people don't think you need on a saw, but I'll admit sometimes when it's cold or you haven't run it in a while, it helps a lot. And then once it kicks, flip it down, pull it, and it starts right up. Got your decompression knob over here for if it's really cold and it doesn't want to start. That helps out a lot as well. And so yeah, I mean, Husky makes a great saw. I guess steel wise, this one would be compared to a 201T, I believe. You know, a lot of guys like Stihl, a lot of guys like Husky. I prefer Husky in the chainsaw aspect. I just love the high RPMs that they run, and when you're trying to make a quick back cut on a tree, it just cuts through the wood quicker, any wood. And you know, they say Stihl has the torque, but I just don't feel it. I just feel like if you can get that chain spinning fast enough, you can cut through whatever you want. And I mean, these claim the X torque, so they have all the torque that I need. And I like sticking with one brand when it comes to my chainsaws. And I believe this one is comparable to the Stihl 361. I've never ran one, I don't believe. I have ran some Stihls over time. I'm just not as impressed with the build and just how quick it cuts. After you get these calibrated, which that's a whole nother story, you need to run these saws for 10 minutes straight through a piece of wood or something that gives it resistance. And that way the carburetor will then be acclimated to where you are, and all the systems will be in check. So they did tell me that when I picked this one up. I don't believe they did when I picked that one up. But run it through a piece of wood for 10 minutes straight, gets the carburetor going, and then from then on you don't have to worry about it. The computer does the rest. So, hope you enjoyed the video. See y'all later. Description. I gave a little description earlier about the T540XP, so now I'll give you a little preview of how it does. So we'll choke it, prime it since it's a little cold, and get her going.